I'm just quickly going through our participant list, and it seems like we definitely do have quorum for today. Ms. Kamish Ahmed and Ms. Kutte, can you just confirm to me whether we are online and recording?
Thumbs up, Chairperson.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Colleagues, thank you so much for being with us today, 8:30 on a Friday morning, bright and early. Today, this is the Budget Committee. My name is Deirdre Bartman. I'm the chairperson of the committee. Today, we'll be dealing with the consideration and adoption of the draft committee report on the Western Cape Additional Adjustment Appropriation Bill, the consideration and adoption of draft committee report on the Western Cape Appropriation Bill, the sets of draft committee minutes, as well as the consideration and adoption of draft committee report on the workshop on the procedures to draft legislation to amend money bills. Colleagues, with that, I'm going to just ask you that you introduce yourselves for the record, please.
Good morning, Chairperson. I'm Gillian Postman. I'm a new permanent member of this committee, and good morning to all the colleagues online. Happy Friday.
Good morning, Regan Allen.
Good morning, Chairperson Ricardo Mackenzie.
Good morning, Chairperson Khalil Barankais.
Good morning, Chairperson Matlodi Maseko.
Welcome to all. Thank you so much. I see we are quite a bit of a full house today. It's wonderfully appreciated. Members, without further ado, we're going to jump straight into the first matter on the agenda for today. It is the consideration and adoption of the draft committee report on the Western Cape Additional Adjustment Appropriation Bill. Given that there was only one vote affected, I'm just going to ask that Ms. Klutte, if you can just put the vote up for us, please. And then I will read it into the record. Okay, colleagues, as you can see, the vote that was affected was Transport and Public Works. As you may know, given this type of meeting, I'm not going to read the first paragraph for every single one of the votes. I will read the first one here, and for the rest of the meeting, I will just allow it to be shown up on the screen. Otherwise, I'm just going to be randomly repeating myself the whole time. Okay, so the first report is the report of the Standing Committee on Transport and Public Works on vote 10, Transport and Public Works in the schedule to the Western Cape Additional Adjustment Appropriation Bill 2021-2022 financial year B1 2022 dated 16 March 2022 as follows. The Standing Committee on Transport and Public Works, having deliberated on the subject of the vote 10, Transport and Public Works in the schedule to the Western Cape Additional Adjustment Appropriation Bill 2021-2022 financial year B1 2022 referred to the committee in accordance with Standing Rule 188 reports that it supports the vote. In accordance with Standing Rule 90, the African National Congress expressed its minority view that it does not support the vote. And as you can see, it was thus signed by the committee chairperson. Colleagues, given that this is the only vote in this particular bill, could I please have an indication from members whether we would like to support or to not support the adjustment bill for the current financial year? Thank you. I'll take hands now. Member Bosman, and then Member Mackenzie, and then Member Wenger.
The Chairperson, I'd like to propose that we support the vote.
I support, Chairperson.
Thank you. Member Wenger.
I echo the support.
No problem. Thank you so much. Ms. Kamish Ahmed, could we put the draft report up and could we just edit accordingly then? Apologies, Member McKenzie. I'm just going to lower your hand. I've heard your seconding as well. Okay, let's edit the word draft out at the beginning of the first sentence, obviously. Thank you. Given that we haven't heard anything else, we can take that out. Thank you so much. Colleagues, I will now read the draft report for the adjustment appropriation bill for the current financial year. The report of the Budget Committee on the Western Cape Additional Adjustment Appropriation Bill 2021-2022 financial year B1 2022 dated 25 March 2022 as follows. The Budget Committee reports that it has concluded its deliberations on the Western Cape Additional Adjustment Appropriation Bill 2021-2022 financial year B1 2022 referred to it in terms of Standing Rule 188. Having considered the Standing Committee's report on the vote in the schedule of the bill, the committee reports that it supports the bill. Colleagues, could I just get an indication whether this is an accurate reflection of the consideration? Member Mackenzie?
Yes, Chairperson.
Thank you so much. Is there a seconder for the report?
I second the Chairperson.
Thank you so much. The report
Morning,
is so
Chair.
adopted. Member
Chair.
Brankes, hello.
Chair, thank you very much. Good morning. Chair, I would like to add there that the Al Jama expresses its minority view not to support this vote.
Is this now for the adjusted appropriations bill?
Yes, Chair. Yes.
Okay, Member Brankes, we're going to have to be much more wake up today because we've already at the adoption of the report. Ms. Kamish Ahmed, could you please put the report back up? Colleagues, let's just put the minority view in, and I'm just going to echo again, colleagues, if there is a minority view, you have to indicate it, please, because when we adopt the report, it is supposed to reflect what we have already considered. So please, if we can go through this quite swiftly, but also correctly in terms of our views. Okay, colleagues, I'm just going to read the amended part, and then I'm going to ask whether this is then a correct reflection of what we have just discussed. The minority view as part of the draft report, in terms of Standing Rule 90, the Al Jama expressed its minority view that it does not support the bill. Colleagues, is this an accurate reflection?
Thank you very much, Chair. Just one correction again. The spelling of Al Jama, the at the end, after the M, the stroke must be after the M and then the AH.
Thank you. Ms. Krita, if we can just make that adjustment. And just the extra A.
I think there is still a correction needed there, Chair.
Okay, I'll check the spelling. It's the Z, Member Brankes.
Okay, yes.
So it's just an extra A before the M and an extra A after the M as well.
Yeah, the first AL, and there's no stroke after that.
Ms. Kluter, so between the J and the M, there needs to be an A, and after the M, there needs to be an A, and after the stroke, you take the one A out.
After the M, there's a stroke, and then AH.
Okay, just copy it from the chat, Lizette. I just put it there in the chat now.
Perfect. It is correct now. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Colleagues,
that's correct.
is this a correct reflection of the consideration?
Yes, Chairperson.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much. With that, the report is then so adopted. Colleagues, let's move on to the next bill. And again, please, when we get to the end of the bill, if you have a view, please do put it forward so that we do not need to reconsider the report. Ms. Krutev and Ms. Kamish Ahmed, if you can put up the first vote. Thank you so much, colleagues. As I indicated previously, I'm not going to go through the full report as it is on the screen. I will just indicate the most important parts. This is vote 1 on the Premier and Constitutional Matters Committee. It deals with vote 1 Premier in the Western Cape Appropriations Bill. In terms of Standing Rule 188, the committee supports the vote. In terms of Rule 90, the African National Congress does not support the vote, and it is signed by the committee member. Member Mackenzie, I just wanted to find out, is that a point of order?
No, Chairperson, there was just the indication of support when you're done.
No problem. We're going to go through all of the votes individually before we get to the bill. Member Brinkhuis, is it on the vote 1?
Yes, thank you very much, Chair. On the vote 1, yes, on the Premier and Constitutional Matters, the Al-Jama also want to express its minority view not to support the vote.
Thank you for your indication, Member Brinkhuis. However, when we go through the votes, it is what is reflected in that committee on the day that the committee sat. So unfortunately, if you were not in that particular committee and if you did not indicate the view at that time, then it is not possible now. We are simply going through the votes to make sure that it is all in order procedurally before we consider the respective bill. Member Wenger?
Thank you, Chair.
No, thank you. You've covered me. I was going to raise a point of order, but you've sufficiently covered. Thanks.
No problem. Thank you so much. Let's go to vote 2.
Osima, please share vote 2.
Thank you so much. Vote 2 is Provincial Parliament, and the committee supported the vote, and it is signed by the respective chairperson. Vote 3, please. Vote 3 is the Committee on Finance, Economic Opportunities and Tourism, and it relates to the vote of Provincial Treasury. The committee supported the vote. In terms of a minority view, the African National Congress expressed its minority view to not support the vote, and it is signed by the respective chairperson. Can we have vote 4, please? Vote 4 is the Committee on Community Safety, Cultural Affairs and Sport. It deals with the vote of community safety. The committee supported the vote, and in terms of Rule 90, the African National Congress expressed its minority view to not support the vote, and it's signed by the chairperson. Thank you so much. Vote 5. Vote 5 is education. It deals with the vote of education. The committee supported the vote, and in terms of Rule 90, the African National Congress expressed its minority view to not support the vote, and it is signed by myself. Thank you so much. Vote 6. Vote 6 is the Committee on Health. It deals with the vote on health. Vote 6. The committee supported the vote, and in terms of Rule 90, the African National Congress and the Economic Freedom Fighters expressed its minority view to not support the vote, signed by the chairperson. Thank you so much. Vote 7. Vote 7, Committee on Social Development, dealing with the respective vote. The committee supported the vote, and in terms of Rule 90, the African National Congress and Al-Jamaah expressed their minority view to not support the vote, signed by the chairperson. Vote 8. Vote 8 is the Committee on Human Settlements, dealing with the respective vote of human settlements. The committee supported the vote, and in terms of Rule 90, the African National Congress expressed its minority view that it does not support the vote, signed by the chairperson. Vote 9, Committee on Environmental Affairs and Development Planning and Agriculture, dealing with the vote 9 specifically on environmental affairs and development planning. The committee supported the vote. The African National Congress expressed its minority view that it does not support the vote, and it is signed by the chairperson. Thank you. Vote 10. Vote 10 is the Committee on Transport and Public Works, dealing with the vote of Transport and Public Works. The committee supported the vote, and in terms of Rule 90, the African National Congress expressed its minority view to not support the vote, signed by the chairperson. Vote 11. Vote 11, the Standing Committee on Agriculture, Environmental Affairs and Development Planning, dealing with vote 11 of Agriculture. The committee supported the vote, and the African National Congress expressed its minority view that it does not support the vote, signed by the chairperson. Thank you. Vote 12. Vote 12 is the Committee on Finance, Economic Opportunities and Tourism, dealing with vote 12, Economic Development and Tourism. The committee supported the vote, and the African National Congress expressed its minority view to not support the vote, signed by the chair. Vote 13. Vote 13 by the Standing Committee on Community Safety, Cultural Affairs and Sport, dealing with vote 13, specifically Cultural Affairs and Sport. The committee supported the vote, and in accordance with Rule 90, the African National Congress expressed its minority view to not support the vote. Colleagues, those are all the respective, no, I must admit, sorry, I missed out one. There's a vote 14. Apologies. Vote 14, Local Government. Standing Committee on Local Governments, vote 14 expressed its view to support the vote. In terms of Rule 90, the African National Congress expressed its minority view to not support the vote, signed by the chairperson. Thank you so much. With that, those are all 14 votes in the main appropriation. Colleagues, you can now express your view on the bill as a whole. I'll take hands now. Member Mackenzie.
Thank you, Chairperson. I fully support the bill as a whole.
Thank you so much. Do I have a seconder?
Yes, Chairperson.
Thank you so much for the seconding. Member Allen.
I can triple support. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Are there any other views on the bill? If none, can we please now consider the report on the matter?
Yes, Chairperson.
Colleagues, I'm going to read the report into the record, and just for the record, I also support the bill. And then I will take hands for the report specifically. The report of the Budget Committee on the Western Cape Appropriations Bill B2 2022, dated 25 March 2022, as follows. The Budget Committee reports that it has concluded its deliberations on the Western Cape Appropriation Bill B2 2022, referred to it in terms of Standing Rule 188. Having considered the various Standing Committee reports on the votes in the schedule to the bill, the committee reports that it supports the bill. Could I please have indications whether this is correct reflection of the consideration? Member Mackenzie.
Thank you, Chairperson. Indeed, this is a correct reflection and I support it.
Thank you so much. Do I have a seconder?
Yes, Chairperson. I'm seconding. Gillian Bosman here.
Thank you so much. The report is thus adopted. Can we please go to the first set of minutes? We do have quite a number of sets of minutes as well as our workshop report ahead of us. So can we please put the next one up? But thank you so much. Perfect. Let's start 8 December 2021. Please just check your attendance. Okay, page 1. No edits, page 2. If I could have consideration of the minutes, please. Colleagues, is the minutes the correct reflection? Member Bosman and then Member Wenger.
Chairperson, yes, I propose that we adopt the minutes.
Thank you so much. Member Wenger.
I second the proposal.
Thank you so much. The minutes are thus adopted. Can we have the next set of minutes, please? (17 January 2022). This is the first day of the workshop, so let's just quickly go through the attendance. Page 1, if no edits, we can go to page 2. Could I please have a proposer and seconder for the minutes? Member Mackenzie.
Chairperson, I support.
I duly second.
Thank you so much, members Mackenzie and Allen. Can we please have the next set of minutes? Colleagues, okay, this is the 18th of January. Just check your attendance. Page 1. Page 2. Okay, if I could get a proposer and seconder for the minutes, Member Bos, and then Member McKenzie.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chair, I do want to propose that we adopt, but if we can just correct the comma. If you move the page further up, just the next paragraph, there is a, just after stats SA, there's a loose comma there. If we could just put that in the correct place. And then I do propose that we adopt.
Thank you so much, Member Mackenzie.
Thank you, Chairperson. I second that with a tied up comma.
Thank you so much. Let's go to the next set of minutes. January 19, page 1, page 2, and let's just delete that space so that Member Bosman is made sure of his tied up commas and spaces as well for this morning. Okay, colleagues, propose and seconder for the minutes, please. Member Mackenzie.
I propose.
Thank you, Member.
I second Mackenzie's proposal.
Thank you so much. Let's head off to the next set of minutes then. Okay, so 21 January, you can just check attendance for us. Page 1, page 2. Thank you so much. If I could have a proposer and seconder for the minutes. Member Mackenzie.
I propose, Chairperson.
Thank you so much. Can I have a seconder? Member Bosman.
I second that, Chairperson.
Thank you so much. Minutes are so adopted. Can we have the next set of minutes? Just want to check quickly. Is that all of them?
Sorry, Chairperson, this is Lizette, 20 January. We still need to adopt these ones.
Okay, thank you so much. 20 January. Let's quickly go through the attendance. Make sure your names are there. Page 1. Okay, page 2. So those are just a reflection of everything we requested, which was quite a mouthful. Page 3. Okay, page 4. Page 5. Page 6. Okay, and then that's the end of the minutes. Colleagues, given that I know that you all read your budget documents with great attention, can I please have a adopter and seconder? Member Mackenzie.
Thank you, Chairperson. I propose we adopt.
Thank you so much. Member Bosman.
I second Member Mackenzie's proposal, Chair.
Thank you so much. So adopted. Can we then now move to the report, which is essentially a reflection of the workshops we have held to date. And colleagues, I'm taking it that we have all read our budget documents. I will simply point out where there are edits then specifically. The report is on all 3 workshops. The first was online in committee. The second was also online as a workshop, and the third was in person and hybrid. So let's start. Page 1, page 2. So there's just the edit that today is the 25th. Okay, page 3, page 4. So this has all been emailed. I'm just going to point out if there are any changes. Point 5. Okay, page 6. Page 7. Page 8. I'm just going to confirm that those surnames are all correct, so you don't have to worry. It's just spell corrector that is putting the little red line underneath it, but they're all correct. Page 9. Page 10. Page 11. Page 12. Page 13. Page 14. We're on page 15. Page 16. Page 17. Page 18. Page 19. Page 20. Sure, the procedural officer is keeping me on my toes. We're already on page 22, actually. 21 and 22. 23. 24. 25. 26. 27. 28. 29. 30. 31. 32. 33. 34. Let's just go a little bit slower at 34 because this is where our recommendations are simply a reflection of the minutes and the recommendations we've already requested. So let's go through 34, 35. So colleagues, what we did in the third column is we just indicated whether the resolution's already been resolved or still to be implemented. You will notice that if it relates to the third workshop, then it is still to be implemented, but majority of the rest, if not all, is already resolved. Okay, let's go on to page 36, 37, 38. Member Bosman.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chair, just if we can go back to page 38, the top of page 38, if we can just correct the spacing of school going That's 2 words and not 1.
Thank you so much. Let's make that edit. Okay, let's go to page 39. Page 40. 41. 42. 43. 44. 45. 46. 47. Perfect. Colleagues, that 47 is the last page. And just before we consider this particular report, I just want to thank our procedural officers. It has been a very long journey so far. It's going to be a longer journey going forward. But without our procedural officers, we could not have gotten this far in the first place. We have gone through many fights, many wonderful debates with the provincial parliament and the respective units, and our procedural officers have made sure essentially that we are able to implement the resolutions taken by this committee, and they have supported us in this regard, and I really appreciate it. Okay, considerations for the report, Member Mackenzie.
Thank you, Chairperson. I propose we adopt and echo the sentiments that you expressed.
Thank you so much. Can I get a seconder for the report? Member Bosman.
Chairperson, I second Member Mackenzie's proposal and also wish to thank the procedural officers who I think, if we can say with very little support from the institution, managed to pull off all of these workshops. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I second those sentiments. It's been a very long journey and we could not have done it without them. Colleagues, I do not believe it is necessary for us to consider this in the House. So because we have not even started the drafting of the bill. However, the reason we are doing this is to make sure that we account for the work that we are currently doing. But thank you so much for the consideration of the report. It is thus so adopted with the one amendment. Thank you so much. Colleagues, it is now at the last point on the agenda, resolutions and actions. Is there anything members would like to raise now? If none, I see just from a message from the procedural officer, Member Vimbi has submitted an apology for today. It seems as if he is in the APAC workshop. Okay, thank you so much for that information. With that, colleagues, then, if there's nothing else, thank you so much. Good luck if you are speaking in the debate today in the sitting. All the best. Ms. Klute?
Sorry, Chairperson, we just have one set of minutes for the 14th of March, which we need to adopt, which I will screen now.
Sure, and yeah, I thought we were done with the minutes. Thank you so much. Let's put up the 14th of March. Thank you so much. If you can please just check our attendance. And there's one edit already, just to Member Bosman's name. He is Member Bosman and not Member Gillian, so that we not confuse the current member with the previous one. Okay, page 1, page 2. Okay, if I could get a proposer and adopter for the minutes. Member Bosman, and then Member Mackenzie.
Chairperson, I propose that we adopt the minutes of the 14th.
I second.
Thank you so much, Member Mackenzie. Thank you. With that, that is adopted. Ms. Kluter, please tell me you have no more minutes left.
We are done. You can call it a
Thank
day.
you so much. Colleagues, have a wonderful day further. Good luck if you're speaking in the debate. The meeting is adjourned. Goodbye.
Thank you, Chair. Bye.